So
Okay.
hello, everyone. I am Elizabeth Barraquette, and I am moderating today's webinar. Thank you to everyone for joining us for International Coaching Week, hosted by the Colorado chapter of the International Coaching Federation. For those who don't know, the International Coaching Federation is the premier professional organization for coaching worldwide. The ICF Colorado chapter is committed to the advancement of professional excellence in coaching across our great state. We host a wide variety of webinars, in-person talks, and group discussions where we share and learn ways to be better coaches, build thriving businesses, and help our clients succeed. Today's webinar is the first of a series of 15 we are hosting this year. So, just some housekeeping and ground rules. Before I introduce our speakers, this is a 60-minute session and we will be ending promptly at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. Please make sure your audio is on mute. You can see the mute button on the bottom left of the Zoom meeting application. If you have questions, feel free to enter them in the chat area. We will be monitoring the chat and addressing the questions in a Q&A at the end. We will be using breakout rooms during this webinar. So if you're dialed in on both a computer and using a phone, we ask you to pick just one or the other, because if you're in on both, then you will get split into two different breakout rooms, which can be most inconvenient. To get the most out of this interactive experience, we ask for your presence during this hour, sharing, engaging, and supporting this community on the call. While discussions in breakout groups will remain confidential, note that we are recording this session and we will be sharing this recording with ICW registrants. That's everyone who's registered for these webinars, but what happens in the breakout room is not recorded. All right, and so now I will introduce our speakers today. We have Julia Drew Meade. She is a certified coach who supports high-performing leaders and aspiring executives to create a magnetic leadership presence, uncover and activate their full strength and passion so they can find fulfillment, balance, and joy in their work and life. Becky Magnotta is a certified leadership coach, and she just this past week, correct, achieved PCC. So congratulations.
Yay, Becky.
Yay, Becky. She supports senior managers and executives to leverage their strengths and values, help them remove barriers and create breakthroughs so that they recognize how magnificent they are and how they can live a full and rich life. So now, without further ado, Julia and Becky, from lemons to lemonade, take it away.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that introduction. Thank
Elizabeth,
you, all of
yeah,
you,
good.
for being here. So one thing I want to add, a little fun fact about my very good friend Julia, is that she was born in a little village in China that didn't have running water or electricity. She has lived on 3 continents, and that journey is what has brought her to coaching.
Oh, thank you, Becky. We're just so happy you guys are here choosing to spend this hour with us. We think it's going to be fun, lighthearted, and you will walk away with some insights that will be helpful to help you navigate through life. So one fun fact about my friend, dear friend Becky, is you can't tell, but he's a trained and accomplished concert pianist. Woohoo! But she chose to carry on a very successful corporate career. She's native Coloradan, and she loves traveling and connecting with people from around the world.
Well, thank you very much. So let's get this party started. And the work that we are doing is, this workshop is based on the work of Shirzad Chamine. And Julia and I are both certified positive intelligence coaches, and we've leveraged that work for this workshop. So let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to cover in the next hour, so you've got a roadmap of what's going to be going on. We're going to dive into looking at challenges, and how do you look at them differently, and how do you turn them into gifts and growth. So our journey today is going to be reframing. There's a gift in everything. What are sages and saboteurs that people have talked about? 3 gifts. We'll then go into a simple operating system that you can take away with you. And then we're going to close and talk about our gift for you.
Awesome.
So, Julia, why don't we go ahead and let's have a little bit of centering to get us all balanced a little bit.
Absolutely. So in order for us to feel this hour is, you feel well served, we are going to start with a little centering exercise. If you don't know what that is, just follow my instructions. Okay, I'm inviting you to put away your notebooks, the items you've prepared, but just focus on here and now. There's no place to go, nothing to do. Together, let's take a deep breath. Inhale from your nose and exhale from your mouth. Let it all go. If you are comfortable to do so, please allow your eyes to gently close. Whether you're standing or sitting, I'm going to invite you to fully feel your weight on the chair. Fully feel how you're firmly supported by the chair. If you're standing, feel your feet firmly planted on the ground. Another deep breath, inhale and exhale. Allow yourself to fully drop your attention into your body. Actually, put one hand on your stomach and feel the gentle rise and fall of your stomach while you breathe in and breathe out. And I'm going to invite you to put your 2 hands together, fingertips to fingertips, palms facing each other, and begin to gently rub the fingertips of one hand, trace it down the fingers of the other, slowly with full attention and care, and feel all the sensations. Do you notice your palm is warmer than your fingertips? Notice what's like to feel the difference. Feel the difference in texture, temperature, and the other way around. See if you can pick up the ridges in your fingertips. As you continue to do so, pay attention to your breath. If you notice you're holding your breath, just let it go. Notice all the sensations. If you notice yourself in thoughts or thoughts come through, just label it as a thought and push it away like a cloud floating over the sky. The sky is still blue. Now let your hands go, but focus and pay attention to the quality of your mind at this moment. Notice how present and aware you are. And from this place, I'm going to invite you to set an intention for today's session. Once you're ready, I invite you gently for us to open your eyes and bring your attention into your room, your physical room, and also in this virtual circle where you're connecting with other like-minded people. When you're ready, open your eyes and welcome to this room.
Thank you. I needed that.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so we are going to go to our first breakout room. So let me tell you a little bit about that. And there we go. So we gave you some pre-work, which was to think of an item that symbolized your pandemic experience. Probably when you think about past challenges, let's face it, there's been a lot of them in this last year. So what you're going to do in this is you're going to think about this item and what does it remind you of with the pandemic experience? And what do you miss about your pre-pandemic life? And what have you gained unexpectedly? And what's going to happen, we're going to pair you with another participant. So it's a chance for you to meet somebody else. And also you'll stay with that person in other, the second breakout room that we've got later, and you're going to share your experience. But before we get going, Julia, yes. I know you've got a great pandemic experience item. Could you share that?
Absolutely. So when I look around the house and say, well, my goodness, we did live through a pandemic. This is what came to mind.
Love those.
I see some of my friends here. Yes, some of my friends here, they know, how tall I am, what I look like, but you probably can't tell, I might be a giant to you, but I'm very petite. So in the past, I've got this habit of collecting all kinds of fancy color coordinating high heels. So when I look at this, and I say, I really love this. But the last time I wear it was in February 2020. That was 15 months ago. So when I think of that, what I miss about my pre-pandemic life is this ritual I had in the morning. Get myself dolled up, coordinating my outfits, and then get ready for the 45-minute drive to work. And I miss that ritual. I miss that switch from, home self to work myself and be in the office of my clients and come back again. So that's what it reminded me what I missed. Not to mention the freedom to go to the restaurant, connecting with friends, go on international vacations, etc., etc. But then when I reflect on this whole 15 months, what I really noticed is some deep but subtle shift in me. Because I haven't got a chance or opportunity to wear the high heels, I begin to wear, sneakers wherever I go. Right now, I can't tell, but I'm bare feet in my office. And I noticed that I'm so comfortable with my 5'1" frame. And I may never, put myself through the torment of squeezing into this thing again. And that is an unexpected gift. And another gift that really opened my thinking is, right now, I'm serving more clients than ever, and I don't have an office to go to. So there you go. That's what I miss and the unexpected gift that this item had reminded me. So you are invited to do the same. If you have no item, it's okay. You can just share. Or look around. You don't have to share the physical item. So you each will have 1 minute to share with each other. So just go in and start right away. Not to worry, you're gonna have the chance to connect with the same person later. So there'll be a chance for you to connect and know each other more. Okay, Elizabeth, do your magic.
I will do. I've also just put the instructions into the chat, and we'll see you all in a few minutes.
Oh, so we actually have,
No, buddy.
Actually, Elizabeth, there's 16 now. Is it a 19 person?
Oh,
19
somebody
people
joined?
Yes, Carol. So you can put Carol and Vicky in one room.
Let me find Carol. Where did she go?
Oh, now Kim and Emma. So that's perfect. It's okay. Just Kim and Emma.
Oh,
they're all in the room now. Perfect.
Yeah, but there are some of them in a room by themselves.
Oh, really?
Because they joined after I had already created it. Hold on. Let me, crap. Oh, where is he? Kim, I'm going to
Kim is right here. Yeah.
To room 2. Okay.
And also, if you fail, the hyperachiever is going, now you won't be able to, no one's going to value you. This isn't going to work for you. The other thing that I found with the hyperachiever too, is that if anybody got in the way of me getting the next accolade, I would discount them. I would not, I wasn't as empathic and caring about them as I could be. So the hyperachiever really has gotten in my way a lot in my long-term success and also my happiness.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you for your wonderful sharing. You know, your vulnerability is our learning. The truth is, we all have it. We all have a judge. We all have a different kind of saboteurs. And if you slow down and notice, there is a war going on in our head, right? Sometimes the good sense comes through, but oftentimes you feel like yourself gets stuck. Now let's dive a little bit deeper into these two simultaneous presence in your brain. I mean, there's a lot of neuroscience involved, but we're going to make it very simple and accessible. So based on the research, the saboteur lives in your in the oldest part of your brain, your reptile brain, your limbic brain, and part of the left brain. So it does motivate you. The reason we developed them is because they're very useful. Okay, they motivate you through negative emotions like fear, stress, anger, guilt, shame, and insecurity. They come across and judging people. This has to do. In other words, always like external validation. So they do make a difference. Sometimes they can generate short-term success, help you get things done. For example, hyperachiever, get accolades, but they will never give you long-term happiness and fulfillment.
In another part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex in the right side of your brain, that's where you're motivated through positive emotions. And these can be empathy, curiosity, creativity, passion, purpose. And it generates your highest success and sustained happiness. So when you think about it though, how can we move from saboteur to the negative saboteurs to a more positive sage mindset?
Yeah, that's $1 million question, Becky. You know, when we are triggered, when the situation is challenging, we find ourselves automatically going to saboteur state. So how do we stop the, you know, the downward spiraling of saboteur and activate our sage? Because in the sage is where you're going to get a longer perspective, bigger picture, and the actions you're most likely not regret. How do we do that? Well, I have an answer for you. It is simple, but not easy. Are you ready for it? It is called the PQ reps. I know you don't know what that means, so let me explain. So think about when you go to the, you know, when you say, I'm going to practice, right? I'm going to get some muscles. You go to a gym, and the only way you get muscle is by repeating the same exercise, so that, you know, when the stress you're creating is bigger than the resistance, that's when a new muscle are formed. Very much the same way we develop our mental muscles. Anytime, here's what a PQ rep is. Anything you do that help you get out of your head and get into a body is a PQ rep. And usually we get to our body through accessing and activating your sensory systems. Either focus on the sound, hearing, sight, you know, pay intense attention to the form of an object. It can be smell, can be physical touch. So what I did in the beginning of this journey was actually a kind of a PQ reps. And some of you may ask, oh, is that meditation? Yes, it is, but it's actually simpler, because sometimes meditation is like, I don't know how to meditate. No, you don't have to. All you need to do to activate your muscle, PQ muscle, is to stop the thinking and start the feeling. Stop the thinking of brain and start dropping awareness into your body. Does it make sense?
So one thing too that's really great about PQ reps is you can't always you're in a stressful situation. You can't instantly say, I need to meditate, but you can be in that stressful situation and be doing PQ reps and nobody knows you're doing them. But
Yeah,
you know
like
that you're calming yourself down and centering yourself.
Exactly. Like breath can be quiet. And what I did just now, this is something you can do under the table. Nobody's, you know, noticing. Wonderful. So once, especially when you're triggered, when there's a challenging situation, you remind yourself, okay, time to do PQ reps, and you do PQ reps, and that's when you actually calm down your saboteur or activate your sage. The truth is, based on neuroscience, we really humans are wired in such a way, you cannot be thinking and feeling at the same time. When you are, you know, really in your body, you do not think. That's why when you look at kids, sometimes the kids, they play, they're in flow, and you say, honey, do this and do that. And they were, quote, ignoring you. The truth is they were not ignoring you. They were not hearing you at all because their brain was temporarily shut down. They were all in their body in that flow state. So once you get in the sage, we can activate the sage perspective. And there are 3 ways for us to get into the gifts of the sage. The first, it's called the gift of knowledge. So when you're in a tricky situation, you feel triggered, get in PQ reps, and here's your question that you can ask yourself. I know I'm going through so much pain and suffering right now. I wonder what's the insight, what's the knowledge do I need to gain and learn from the situation so that the payoff in the future is bigger than the pain I'm feeling today. So that when this happens again in the future, it will no longer be a challenge.
Another gift is the gift of power. And this is thinking in that moment or afterwards as a learning, what action or strengths can I develop as a result of going through this setback? What is it that's going to make me more effective in the future?
Lovely. And the last gift, inspiration, this is probably the biggest gift at all, but you might not be able to access immediately. It is about, pull the camera back and look at the long view and big picture. And the question you ask yourself is, okay, since I've just gone through this tremendous challenge, what action can I be inspired to take so that not just me, but people around me, other people who might be affected will be saved from this suffering. So this is about inspiring people to magnetize the action they take so that more people can benefit. In fact, Becky has a great story to share with us to show you what a gift inspiration can be.
A beautiful example is a nonprofit here in Colorado. It's called Rachel's Challenge. And it was started by a father who lost his daughter, Rachel Joy Scott, in the Columbine shootings. The loss of his daughter caused him to start this nonprofit, which is to stop bullying. And they do this presentations on it all over the world in corporations and schools to help people and to really remember and memorialize his daughter.
Wow, talking about impact. No parent would want to lose a child. But if a child was taken away with you and there's nothing you can do to bring the child back, what's more inspiring thing you can do than to put your effort into no other kids suffer the same thing? That really, truly is an inspirational act. Thank you, Becky. Now, I feel that it's time to embrace technology and go into another breakout exercise. So can you show the next? So I want to say just now, because there's a glitch in the technology, we'll do our best to make sure you still get paired with the same person, but it might not happen because some end up in the 3 people, right? Well, Elizabeth, do your best, but just so you know, we are trying to get you the same person, but if not, just bear with us. So here's what we're gonna do in this breakout room, and this time I'm gonna have more time. Each of you have 2 minutes, double the time we're giving you. I want you to, I know, I'm just saying that to make myself feel better because we love breakout rooms so much. There's always not enough time. Anyhow, think about past challenge that you have already successfully navigated and put behind, but now it's time to go unpack that challenge to get the hindsight to extract the gift so that you can turn that into foresight for future scenarios. And each of you will have 2 minutes, share about your challenge and really reflect on what insights and knowledge did I gain from this? What muscles, what strength or power did I develop as a result? And was I inspired to take an action? Or maybe now is the time to take an inspiring action to magnify this effect. Make sense? So 2 minutes each. There'll be I think instruction tell you time to switch, and there'll be 1 minute in the end. So look at the top of your Zoom room, there will be some verbal cues there. Elizabeth, thank you so much.
Before we send everybody off, though, I've got
Yeah.
an example that might help you. And that's it.
That's a
If
good
you know
idea.
me, you know that I am very independent. And a past challenge I had is I was conducting an executive retreat in West Cliff, Colorado, which is in the middle of nowhere. I fell down a flight of stairs in front of like 30 people and broke my ankle. So what the knowledge that I gained from it, not just from that moment, but the 6 months it took me to recover, is I needed to ask and accept help. So that really has helped me very much in the future, especially if you can imagine as a hyperachiever. The power, I learned that I learned a lot of patience because I had to. And also I learned the power of knowing I can work through physical and mental setbacks. So it made me much more centered on that. And finally, inspiration. The company I was in, I focused on mobility issues. I wanted to work to change things in our organization. So more on automated doors and a better process for people who are injured at work. So now we're ready. And Elizabeth, can you move us to our breakout rooms?
Yes, I think you all should be able to now join your breakout room.
When you're ready, please raise your hand physically. We can see everybody on one screen, I believe. So when you are ready, let us know.
So you know, this is an internal exercise. You don't have to share. It's about internal processing. Because thank you, Kevin. It's raise your digital hand. You can do that. You can just wave at us because it's a small. Okay, Christine, Connie is ready. Eric's ready. And oh yeah, Walt, Cindy, Kim, Holly are ready. Vicky, did I see you? Mia is ready. And excellent. Maria is ready. Great. Awesome. Seems like you are ready.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. So I'm going to invite you to go on the journey with me. So like I said, it's internal processing. It's a gift to yourself. And if you don't want to be observed, this is the only time I'm inviting you to put your screen, you know, you can turn off your camera if that will help you to concentrate. Okay, I'm going to keep my camera on. So together, let's take a collective breath from this place of appreciation. Inhale and exhale. Gently allow your eyes to come to close. Feel your breath. Waves in, waves out. Notice the breath is a gift. They come in like waves gently. They go out like waves. Now, in your mind's eye, I would like to imagine the most beautiful and serene garden you can imagine. And imagine that you are there in the middle of it. It's a beautiful sunny morning. You feel the gentle breeze brushing against your cheeks. And you look around, you see beautiful flowers. Pink crabapple tree, periwinkle hydrangea, white gardenia. And you take a deep breath. You're allowing the beautiful scent of those flowers permeating your body. And you're walking bare feet. Feel the warm touch of the grass. You feel peaceful, open, blessed, and safe. And when you look again, you see there's a journey, that little path in front of you, inviting path, beckoning you along. I'm inviting you to take the invitation and walk on that path. As you stroll along, you keep feeling this experience. You hear birds singing, the gentle breeze against your body. You notice the changing scenery. There's a little creek to your right. There's a beautiful open clearing to your left. You're strolling along and you're feeling a bit excited because you know it's a meaningful journey. You're about to meet someone important and wise. And you come to the edge of a forest. It's an inviting forest. And you see the clearing in the forest and you step in. You notice the beautiful dance of sunlight and shadows, the shapes of the leaves on the meadow. You take a deep breath, really taking it all in. And when you look around, you see to your right, there's a beautiful blue cottage, light blue cottage. And there's a little path leading to the door. You feel a calling, you feel an invitation. So you take the path and you walk through this another small garden, beautiful, birds chirping. You see butterflies. And you come to the door and you knock on the door. And someone opened the door. You were met with someone that looks just like you, except older and wiser. You felt immediately welcome, connected, and accepted. You are in the presence of your sage, the inner boundless wisdom in you. They have answers to everything. You felt a deep sense of connection, and your sage invites you in. They direct your attention to the left. You see there are two rocking chairs facing each other by the window with the sun's beautiful sunlight streaming in, overlooking the garden. You take a seat and you sit face to face with your sage. All is well in this place, but you know you want to get to the wisdom of your sage. So stay connected with her or him, look into their eyes, and begin to share the struggle, the challenge you are currently facing. In your mind's eye, notice whatever comes out your mouth, it was met with compassion, kindness, and ease. And you pause. And I'm going to invite you to allow me to be the you at this moment, and you assume the posture, the identity of your sage. I'm going to ask you some questions. And you be that sage and answer them. The first question that you really want to get answer from your sage is, hey, what am I missing here? What's keeping me stuck? And notice what answers come to you. They may come to you in phrases, in visual, in shapes. Receive them. And sage, what is important here? What knowledge do I need to gain so that I do this situation justice? Receive the answer. Sage, from your perspective, since you've seen it all, witnessed all, from 2 decades from today, 2 decades in the future, and looking back at this moment, what is the gift in the situation? And one last question. From the place of gratitude. Wow, so much insight. Now, I would love for you to tell me what's one small action, maybe a string of small actions I can take so that I can move in the right direction towards you. And wait. Register those answers. Now, think of, is there any question arising in you that you really want to answer? I'll give you a moment. Ask whatever question you want to ask to your sage. It is now time to say goodbye, but please know the sage is ever present, like the blue sky is ever present. Sometimes it can be taken by the overcast clouds, but once the clouds are gone, the blue sky is always there. Likewise, your sage is always there for you. All you need to do is to connect with him or her. So I invite you to stand up and connect with the sage however feels right for you. Say your goodbyes. And your sage walks you to the door. You open the door. You look back. Connect with your sage one more time and gently close the door behind you, knowing this house is always there for you. All you need to do is to look and connect. Now you find yourself in the path, walking towards where we came from, to the clearing, out the forest, back in the path with the creek and garden, and you see yourself back in that garden again. Now I'm going to invite you gently wiggle your fingers, your toes, maybe deepen your breath. Gradually bring your awareness back into your physical room and gently fluster your eyes open, but take your time so that we can be in this circle with each other again. And knowing that gift is staying with you. If you're ready to come back, please come back.
All right. Thank you. That was lovely.
Thank you.
So if you can, in the chat, put a sentence of what that experience was like. And then we're going to move on to talk about the operating system.
Yeah.
Soothing. Eye-opening.
Eye-opening. Mia says surreal but centering. Calming, comforting, meaningful connection. And Venus says possibilities. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know for the sake of time, we would love to connect more, but we want to honor your time commitment. So should we do the big reveal, Becky?
Let's do the big reveal.
Yes, Becky, how did this all come together? We said that we have a simple operating system to share.
Yes.
Take it away.
So the simple operating system. Here we go. Technology, gotta love it. First of all, the thing is, it's 6 simple steps. The first one is stop when you catch yourself being triggered by negative emotions. It's like taking your hand off of a hot stove. and recognize you're in saboteur mode. From there, practice a few PQ reps to quiet your saboteurs and get connected with your sage.
Yes, and also the bigger the trigger is, the longer you will take, you know, to connect with the longer PQ sessions. Now, step number 4, once you're in sage, active the sage perspective, which is asking yourself, what's the gift here? What do I need to learn, right? Step number 5, now you generate that gift. It can be a knowledge, a power, or inspiration. It can be all 3. Now, step number 6, and this is the important thing. You want to, this is where rubber meets the road. You want to create one small action that move you forward so that you are no longer stuck. And that journey, it can be short, but that's how you travel from saboteur to sage. Wow.
Yeah, so we've given you a lot, but let me tell you
Yeah.
how you can learn more. We do a positive intelligence program. It takes 6 weeks. It includes our weekly videos from Shirzad Chamine, and also it includes an app that, think of it like going to a PQ gym every day so you can learn more about doing PQ. And we do it with a group of fellow travelers, and Julia and I facilitate these together if you are interested in learning more.
Yeah, what you can do is put a yes in the chat and we'll reach out to you with the offer. And here's our gift for you guys. So to thank you for the time you shared with us. If you put yes in the chat, we would love to give you a 30-minute complimentary coaching session so that you can get to more like intimate knowledge of how to turn your saboteur into sage. And also we're going to give you a discounted rate to join this 7-week group program at $549 instead of $999 if you go to the PQ website and purchase from there. Okay.
So also keep in mind, we are going to be sending you a PDF of the slides, everybody who is registered, and also a link to the recording of this session. So you can look at it again, any parts you missed, or if you want to share it with somebody else. And at that point, if you want to respond and let us know that you're interested in our PQ program, let us know at that point.
Yeah, so with that, you know, that's what we had for you. But we would love to hear any more, like what, maybe one sentence, a couple of phrases to see what's your takeaway. What's one small action you are inspired to take so that you turn this insight into learning. You know, we're practicing our PQ reps. You want to stop sharing, Becky? Mm-hmm. Great. Awesome. Thank you for coming, Connie. And this is our time, but if you want to stay for a couple minutes for questions, we can stay. But thank you so much for joining us. And back to you, Elizabeth. You have one more thing to share, right?
Yes, and I promised we were going to end on time, and now we're 2 minutes late. So I will make this very, very brief. Thank you for coming, and this was the first of 15. So please feel free to register. You can register at the address that I have posted, and have a look at our website and join ICF Colorado, because we always have some great stuff going on. And thank you again.
Thank you so much for sharing this hour with us. I hope you got what you know, it's worth your hour. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you all.